Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well today. Um, I'm alone one more time. David is still out recuperating. So I am here to hopefully entertain and you and whatnot. Hey, Stig, how you doing? Um, Yeah, so we got a few things. I want to remind people that we have the holiday tchotchke contest. This is our second annual. We are still in the process of looking for sponsors. I just haven't made the call that I was supposed to make last week because I was busy. But just a reminder, if you want to enter, please do. You can just email us at info@3dmakeit.ca. All the details are on our website. So if you go to www.3dmakeit.ca, you will get all the details of the holiday contest. Again, it doesn't have to be holiday themed if you don't want to. If that's not your thing, that's fine. We just have some dimensions that we require and that it's printable. So anything, and it has to be created by you. We don't want objects from Thingiverse and whatnot that aren't your own. If you have designed it, then that is fine. But yeah, please do something that you've designed. It can be a clip, it could be an ornament, it could be anything unique that you've designed. But just something that falls into the dimensions that we put up on the contest page. And then we will have a draw on the Sunday before kind of Christmas break. So, yeah. So hopefully everyone can enter and get a chance at winning. Hopefully some great prizes. We haven't decided exactly what the prizes are yet, but we'll announce that next week. So yeah. Other than that, thanks everyone for showing up. We got a lot of the regulars here. We've got Stig, we've got Dominic, we've got Ray. Hey everybody, and I know we'll have people who show up a little later, and that's great too. What else do I want to say? I guess I should make a shout out to these fine people. Helge at the tree support level, thank you so much for your support, and everyone else here that supports us on here. I think this is an old slide because I do believe that Jim is a little higher up now. I think he's on dissolvable support, so I'm a little slack and I'll have to change my slide a bit. But any of these people that you see here, thank you so much. Because without their support, we can't do the contests, and why would we even come and do the show without these great people that are supporting us? So, along with their support, you get access to Discord. All our patrons get access to our Patreon Discord, so they can interact, share things that they're doing, share projects, and we share projects with them. So we are also going to be having a workshop. We are well on the way to finishing off the kind of design of how we're going to do the workshop. So we are going to be announcing that later in the month, maybe early January. So we'll have the workshop, and yeah, so hopefully all our patrons can participate in the workshop. And if you'd like to participate, you go to patreon.com/3dmakeit, and you can find out all the details to sign up, and then you will get access to the workshop that is coming up. hopefully everyone is having an all right weekend. We have been quite busy at work. I'm just gonna grab some water. And we got our order in. So we ordered a few things on Black Friday. The one order we did has come in, so I'm going to show that in a minute. But again, I'm just going to see if I can do my screen share. Oh, there we go. So on our website, 3dmakeit.ca, we have the second annual Great Holiday Design Off. So please join us. All the information, all the rules are there. Hope we have a spot here for sponsors. We just got to confirm that we have a sponsor for this year. And we'll give you all the information and what prizes are going to be available there. So, yeah. Alrighty. So without further ado, I checked our daily or weekly check, and there are no new versions of Prusa Slicer and no new versions of Kira Slicer. So, don't have any news there. Checked around, didn't find any other highly interesting news. If you guys have any that you think we should discuss today, we can pop it in chat, and we'll take a look and see if that's something that you guys will be interested in. And besides that, I will switch cameras, and hopefully my mic, you'll have to tell me if my mic still sounds good, because I'm going to be a little further away. I'll slide it over as far as I can. But we are going to look at what we have purchased. So let me transition, and hopefully this doesn't get too loud. So hopefully you can still hear me okay. What we have here is the Sprite extruder. The Sprite extruder came out quite a while ago. I think it came out either in the spring. It originally came on the SL1 Pro, I believe. So it comes in quite a nice box here from Creality. They're up in their game. So it's a direct drive extruder. So hopefully you can put it on most of the Ender 3 printers. I'm not sure about the Ender 5. Dominic was asking about that, and I am not sure. But we got user manual here. Shows all the breakout stuff. We've got a ribbon cable, quite long. Whoa, that's quite long. So let's see here. I've got this is 87 plus 50. Can't do that in my head, I guess. 87 plus 50. So it's 1.37 meters long. So depending on what printer you have, 1.37 meters is pretty good. They include some little ferrules on the end. Everything's well labeled, as you can see. We got fan, heater. We got another fan. There's the other heater. There's the other fan. That one's not interesting. That one's not labeled. Have to figure out what that one is. This one is CR Touch, which I'm going to try the BL Touch. There's your extruder, and not sure what that one is. Well, we'll have to take a look and see what that is. So that cable looks pretty good. We've got a small cable for the CR Touch, BL Touch. We got the new carriage. So they took this carriage, and what they did was the extruder's mounted on the side, so it carries it. And the reason for that, if we take a look at the actual main unit here, it attaches on this side right here. It has a circuit board at the back. So you got your ribbon cable that goes into the top. And then you've got your circuit board on the side. I don't know if you can do dual port cooling ducts. Possibly. I'll have to evaluate that a little later, Dominic, and see if you can. But it mounts on the side. This is all metal. So no plastic parts except for like the molded ones on the side here. This looks all injected molded. It's got a nice metal fan shroud and looks like an injected molded nozzle for the fan. We've got the nice silicone sock. Slightly different nozzle than the normal nozzles if you look at that. It's got a bit of a ridge. So it's not the standard Creality type nozzle. They do have two nozzles. This one has the brass one installed, but they do come with a, looks like a nickel coated, I don't know if it's a, I'll have to look in the instructions and see what it says, but it's another slightly non-brass one. The back, we've got a spot to plug in the heater cartridge, so that plugs in like this. And we've got the thermistor. It looks like a high temp thermistor. It says it can do 300 degrees C. It's got an all metal heat break. And a very short filament path. The gears are right here, so there's just a small path there. It has the fan here. It's another one of these fans, maybe a little, maybe it's the same size, but it has a molded duct that goes all the way through, blowing through your heat break. So it's a very, very, seems like a very solid design. There's your manual filament gear. Your tension spring is right here. And there's your release lever. And fairly compact motor. And do I have my scale down here? I don't think I do. If I had my scale down here, I'd wait for you guys. Hey, Hilge. Raymond says it's still an MK8 nozzle. Yeah, it looks like an MK8. It looks like they just machined it differently. So anyway, that's the main pieces. And what else is in the box? We've got the mounting screws, and then the spare nozzle. So a very nice box. So it looks like it's a fairly nice unit. Heat break looks similar to no, it's a little different because of the way they have their thermistor and whatnot in there. But they did put thermal paste in there for the high temp thermistor, so they've come a long way for sure in their design. So this, I think, will be going on kit. Kit is my Ender 3. And so the new carriage, other than having the not mounting to the back here, it mounts to the side. It's very similar to the old carriage. I think they've carried over the mount for the old heatsink because those actually don't do anything. They will go into these ridges here, and that's about it. Just probably for help alignment. Yeah, those are just for alignment. And then you can see it lines up pretty good, the 4 holes, and you still have the tension adjustment screw available on the back. So yeah, no, it seems pretty solid. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving this a try. We'll see how well the cooling is. If the cooling's adequate, you don't need cooling from both sides, but I know Dominic, I think you have the Hero Me. So, oh, okay. So Ray says that's not thermal paste, that is glue. Ah, I didn't see, and I was just looking on here. I don't see an official screw to hold the thermistor in. So, yeah, Ray. Yeah, I think you're right. That's interesting. Well, hopefully it'll work right out of the box. And we won't have to change that. What does this say? Please insert into adapter plate before using. Well, yeah, that makes sense. You kind of want your heater cartridge to work, so that does make sense. Yep. So we'll give this a try. See how well it works. And I think after I do this, all my printers will be direct drive. So that is what I got. What size is this nozzle? Do you think they're both 0.4? Ray might know. He's probably installed 1 or 2 of these. This one, yeah, 0.4. I probably can't see. Ooh, maybe you can see that. There you go. Almost. Yeah. Well, it says 0.4. Trust me. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 0.6 on this because I mentioned on a few streams ago that I was going to try printing a lot with the 0.6. So I'm gonna switch it up and go to 0.6. So that is the Sprite extruder. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me install it today, so I thought I would just kind of go over what we picked up on Black Friday. It does look like there's quite a bit of cable, so I was a little concerned that my custom box that I have, my electronics are at the back of my Ender. I've got my Pi built in and my SKR board in the back of the Ender, not in the front where a lot of the original board comes. So yeah. All right. Hey, Helge. Stig, one problem is that the motor is so far from the center of the axis. Like direct drive from the stock hot end, it will wear out one of the wheels really fast. I don't know. You think so? Let's take a look. There we go. Well, definitely is going to put a little torque that way. And it's definitely heavier than your stock. When I do the install, what I'll do is I'll take the stock carriage off and I will weigh it and compare, because you are definitely adding more mass for sure. So this one on Black Friday was $100 Canadian. So it was a fairly good deal for Black Friday. I think they retail at about $140-ish Canadian. So so it was like $45 off kind of thing. So. Raymond's asking what everyone else bought back on Black Friday. That's basically the only thing I really bought for 3D printing was the extruder. And 3D Maker bought two of them. David has one, I have one. So we'll be able to give our thoughts as we install it on a printer and whatnot. So. Stig bought a bunch of nothing at all. Well, it's definitely not the stock hot end on that one. It's all metal. Got a way shorter path. I know there's a lot of direct drive kits that use the similar style to the Ender 3 hot end. Micro Swiss has theirs, which I thought David had one of those, and he really liked it. Ray bought a different style, I think, of direct drive, didn't you, Ray? A while ago, it was, who made it? It wasn't Micro Swiss. It was, I can't remember who, but that one looked pretty cool. I think it had the extruder at an angle. Ooh, Ray's getting an enraged rabbit. Oh, it's a Micro Swiss NG. There you go. Cool. Ray says with the eccentric nuts tuned correctly, so you don't want them too loose or too tight. If they're just nice and firm, so it's not rocking around, they should last a long time. And I agree. Like it's not like it's a smooth surface against a smooth surface. If your eccentric nut was a little loose and you had some slop in there, I could see that it would get irregular wear, and that could be an issue. I think the biggest thing is the mass is going to be the biggest concern, because if you're trying to print fast with that much mass, it's definitely going to change your dynamics a bit. So I'll try it out and see how it works and go from there. Stig says he bought a Triangle Labs V6 hot end. The rest is parts I had 3D printed, and they just work. And I have a PETG printed mount for the Hemera up on my Chiron back there, and it works great. I didn't have to. I made a adapter plate that was basically a drill guide, so I could directly mount the Bondtech to my Ender or my CR10 V2. So now it's direct drive, and that one worked really well. I have that up on Thingiverse if anyone has wants to do that conversion. And so might as well go direct drive on all my printers. So the only one that's not direct drive is that guy right there, which I might take and do the conversion from a 0 to 01 and see maybe get that one direct drive as well. I got the motor close to the center and got less wear. I still print PETG at 150 with 1K acceleration, and I can print as fast as I need to. Well, that's good. I don't know what this one's going to be like. The SL1, I think Ray, have you played with the SL1 Pro a bit? That's the same. It's the same carriage and same Sprite extruder. So maybe Ray has more experience or has tried them out, but it looks like it's going to be pretty solid. So we'll have to we'll know in a couple weeks when I have some time to actually get it all installed and tuned and whatnot. But I'll do an actual official video. It won't be a live stream. I might do a live stream of the assembly, but I haven't played with it yet. Okay, well that's okay. We'll play with it when we can. So yeah. Other than that, I didn't have a lot today. We are just kind of wrapping up. My son had his birthday and had a whole bunch of teenage boys over for his birthday yesterday. So, and a bunch of them decided they would subscribe to the channel. So thanks, guys, for joining the 3D Make It subscribers. We appreciate all of that. So that was pretty cool that they wanted to do that. So I didn't even ask them. They just like, oh, let's just do this. I'm like, thanks. So shout out to the Churchill crew that joined us. Yeah. That would be Creed, the Bamboo AMS. Yeah, that would be neat. I think the difficulty is that they've got proprietary software, but we got a great open source community out there, and that could definitely. Oh, we got some spammers. Just hold on here. Let me. Report. I'm going to. Oh. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, we got some spammers coming in on the live stream. I reported the one and Ray got the other two. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate the help. You got our back. Yeah, so where was I? Got distracted by those darn spammers. So Helge is saying that see, there is a different connection on it. Are you going to do the CAN bus way? So no, it's not CAN bus. It does have a ribbon connector, but it goes directly to a breakout of all the wires here, and in the manual, I haven't looked, but they do label them all. I don't know what this extra one is. It's not clear to me. There's a couple cables that weren't labeled, and I'm not sure where they go or what they're for, because it doesn't look to me like there's any extra connectors on here, unless that is for the BL Touch or something. Because we got the fan, thermistor, fan 1, fan 2. There's the CR Touch, BL Touch. Yeah, I'm not seeing any additional stuff on the back here. So we'll find out as we're assembling it. No, it's quite a bit. It's similar, but there's less pins. The CR10 Pro has a much denser cable, and it's a wider cable. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I keep my this will be the first real kinematics mod, shall we say, that I've done to the Ender. Otherwise, it's pretty stock. The only other one I did was moved the electronics board and the Pi that I use into a case at the back of the Ender. And then I printed my own BL Touch that screws on. Otherwise, it's stock. So the BL Touch is the only thing that I really added to the carriage. And so by changing the print head, that's going to be the major change on this guy, other than moving the electronics box to the back. And I did that just so I could integrate the Pi and the SKR board into the case. So, but it looks like the cable, the way they route it, you zip tie it to the where the old extruder is on the back left, and then you just make sure there's enough cable to reach all the way to the side, and then it goes down the side and into the electronics box. So I believe I'll have enough room. The drag chain I currently have, I don't think will be very useful, because the cable is quite a bit wider than the drag chain that I have. Like, if we look at a drag chain, it's almost the same width as the drag chain, but it won't fit in the drag chain. So that you can see them side by side here. So it won't act like, I mean, I suppose I could roll it to fit it in the drag chain, but I would think that would cause a little more wear on the wires. So I don't think I want to do that. So yeah. Sorry about the noise. Someone moved the chair upstairs. It's 3 years since I ordered my first 3D printer. Nice. Yeah, I've how many years now? We've been doing this for, this is what, our third, going into our fourth year of 3D Make It, and I think I was printing the year before that. So I've been printing for about 4 to 5 years, maybe five years. And David's been printing longer than that. He's been printing probably like 7 or 8 years, maybe even longer. So yeah, how long have you guys been printing? I agree. Too much stress on the wires. So I'm just gonna have it droop down the side. I've got lots of room on the side, and I'll have it go into the case at the bottom. Unless I were to print a wider drag chain, but I don't think I need one. It's got the nice mesh over it, and Yeah, I think it'll be good. So, it'll be able to go back and forth, and it'll keep out of the way pretty good, I think. Yeah. So I think it'll be fine. I don't think I need a drag chain at all. Yeah, well, and the one thing with the Vorons is they want to stress that people use these silicone wires to help with that, but I could totally see, because some of those bends are, I mean, any bend you have that's close to 90, and then you have movement there, you're going to put quite a bit of stress on things. So Hilch says that 2014 is when he got his first printer. I got to look back when I officially bought my first printer. I bought it from a guy on Facebook. I'll have to look that up. I was printing before I bought my first printer, because work had some printers, so I was doing printing there, and it kind of got the bug in me, and then I got the opportunity to buy my first printer. 5 to 6 years for Ray. Yeah, I'm at about 5 years for sure. I'm sure it's 5 years. And David's longer, so. My first printer was an ANET A8. And I made it safe. That was one of the first things I did, was go through it, change the power supply to a safer one, change the cables so that they were safer, change the way they were connected to the board and whatnot, just to make sure that there was no burn down my house issues. But now everything's pretty much 24 volt, which is allows a lot lower current, so much safer. I mean, if you went up to 36 or 48 volt, it would get even safer. I've never seen a Zone Star. Let me Google it. Zone Star 3D printer. They're still around, Zone Star. Yeah, they have the. They're very Creality like, a lot of them. The Zone Stars, they're kind of neat. This is. Let me just share my screen here. Here's some of the Zone Stars that Hell just talking about. It never worked right. So what'd you switch to? If the Zone Star never really worked right for you, would you end up going to? FL Sun i3 was Ray's first printer. Stig, what was your first printer? I know we all have multiple printers now. Oh, you went to a Creality, so like an Ender 3 or something? Or CR10 or something like that? CR10S Pro was his first printer. Yeah. Yeah, Ray warned me away from the CR10S Pro. Because I was tempted, but CR10S, yeah. That CR10S was a lot of people's, I think it was very popular, and then the Ender came out, right? I think the CR10S was out, the CR10 and CR10S were out first, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the Ender 3 came out and became very popular. And then the Pros and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, once you get a printer that works and you've dialed it in, I mean, as long as you do maintenance on it, and that's a friend of mine was going to do some printing the other day, and he's like, my printer's just not working right. So he brought it over. We had a look at it, and sure enough, a couple of his couple of his pieces, like there was too much slack on the belt, because over time it just kind of stretched, so we tightened that up on both of his belts. And then his carriage was loose, so we tightened the eccentric nut. And then we checked his extruder, and his extruder arm was cracked. And those plastic extruder arms, they always tend to kind of crack. So he got himself one of the metal Creality extruders. He got the newer style that doesn't have this connector. It has the push in. But yeah, he got himself the net metal one, so he won't have that problem for a long time. That's I think the biggest weakness on the original plastic extruders was the arm, because it's under tension all the time with the retractions and whatnot. It just eventually cracks. And I've seen so many people that they, oh, I've got a jam, and they change their hot and everything. They don't look at their extruder to see that, oh, well, the arm's broken. So, or cracked, so that you get inconsistent tension. So that's a big thing. I have a CR10S that has 8,000 hours, Ray says. I believe it. You do a lot of printing, and when you get a reliable printer, I mean, just you print like crazy. So Stig says, I currently got 2 Ender 3 Pros and a few cheap upgrades they've done, and they've just solid workhorses. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Once you get a printer that's dialed in, they're workhorses, right? And the stock ones, there's nothing wrong with keeping your printer stock, right? The only reason you need to do mods and whatnot is if, number one, you like doing mods, or if there's for like, one of the best mods you can do is either do the silicone spacers or the stiff yellow springs or blue springs. It doesn't matter. Just the thicker springs, because the stock springs on a lot of the printers don't allow for great bed leveling. They creep just from the momentum of the bed moving. They creep out of alignment. Whereas if you have the stiffer springs or you have the silicone spacers, they're much stiffer, and once you get them dialed in, they seem to stay a long time. So that's one of the easiest mods you can do to a printer, and it's more of a quality of life thing than a mod, right? So yeah, sometimes the screws just begin to loosen, and that's why I like the actual stiffer springs myself. Yeah, the metal ones are great. I've started 50 PETG prints without having any bed leveling, adding glue to my build plate. I don't use glue, and on my home one, I've got the nice build surface, and I've got so I don't use any hairspray or glue or anything here at home. This works wonderful for me. I know Ray was like wanting to give me a talking to because I was saying the other day that my work printer, I just flipped over the glass and I have basically I found some Mega Hold hairspray that works really well just on glass. So I coat it, and then it acts just like like the sheet I have here on my printer. It works great. I rarely recoat it. I just do a one even coat, let it dry, harden, and then I never have a problem printing or releasing from that. It works. Gives you a smooth surface and it works good. We had some of those sprays you can buy that aren't hairspray. They're specifically for 3D printing, but honestly, the stuff has no conditioners or other stuff in it. It seems to work really well. So I know Ray is cringing right now, but it works on my work one that one I don't have a magnetic build surface, and if I did, I'd be using it because I don't have to. All I do is a little isopropyl alcohol on my surface here, clean it up, and away I go. And it works great. Held, I have an Ender 5, no mods, works like nothing else. Just slice and print. Amazing for me. And that's the thing. Like, you don't necessarily need to modify a printer. Get some experience out of the box. If you buy a printer, if you're new to 3D printing, and you buy a printer, stock out of the box works great. One of the reasons we mod printers here is because that's what people want to see. They want to see other things you can do. But once you have it dialed in the way you like it, like my Ender 3 right now, works great. It's solid. It's stock. Once I put this on, that's a major change going to direct drive. I'll probably have a retraction of 0.8. It's going to be fairly low, but I think it'll be a really nice addition. So, but we'll see. I mean, when you think about it, I've just added another $100 of equipment to a printer that out of the box worked fine. So it's kind of like, well, if it's out of the box worked fine, why spend the extra money? Well, because I want to show you guys other things you can do with your printer, and I can do flexibles at a higher speed and whatnot. So that's one of those things that works pretty nice. So, I've even had PLA rip apart out of the glass bed. Yeah, and that's why I like a little bit of an intermediate. I've never had PLA damage a glass bed. Actually, I've never had damaged a glass bed. So I use nano polymer. It might just be a superstition, but it seems to work for me. And if it works, continue to use it, right? Like once you find a process or a workflow, right? Because once you find a workflow that is consistent and you get the results you're looking for, keep going with it. Like, don't necessarily need to deviate. If it's not working, okay, then try something new. But if it's working, just, you don't need to see what everyone else is doing and try something different. If it's working and you're getting really good results, stick with it. That's the thing. Like, your printer should work out of the box, as long as all the parts are stock and you've assembled it correctly, and your gantry, your frame is nice and square. It should print reliably for a long time, many hours. And like my friend Mark was having his issues. It was the extruder, and there was some slop. So tightening everything up, putting on the new extruder, prints like brand new. So yeah. Well, before we finish up today, I'm going to bring back and thanks everyone on this list. Again, I've got to update this. I don't know why it's got my old slide in here because I swear I updated it to a new slide at some point. But Jim is actually up on the dissolvable supports level and Helge is at the top. Thank you guys for being patrons. And remember that we have our holiday, well, let me just bring up my, area. Oh, that's the wrong one. We want to. Well, it's the second annual holiday design off. If you go to 3dmakeit.ca, you will get to enter the holiday design off that we're doing at second annual. I still have to reach out and see about sponsor for it. I'm hoping that we can do that again. But either way, we'll get some prizes to the winners. We'll have a first and second prize winner, and so definitely we want you guys to have some prizes. So take a look. We've got all the details up. We want the print size to be a maximum of 150 by 150 by 150 millimeters. We'd like your submission to be in STL format, preferably. You can, if you'd like, post it on Thingiverse and send us a link to it. We want it to be created by you guys. So if you would like to enter, info@3dmakeit.ca if you want to email your entry in. And the deadline for entry is December 16th is when the contest closes. We would like to have your prints in by December 12th. If we can have it in by the 12th, that gives us time to actually print the models. So if we can print the models, because we would rather print them and show them off, and then go from there. So and then we'll try to have a bit of a design off like we did last year, and we'll Dave and I will do a quick design and see kind of what kind of things we can do. I can't even remember what I did. I'll have to look back and see what I designed last year, just so I don't try to design something of the same thing again. So, and hey Gary, good to see you. Got to catch the last bit of the stream, so that's good. But yeah, so don't forget, we got the design off. We want some entries. We are going to reach out for sponsors, and then we'll put up the info on that. So hopefully we can have some decent entries. I think we had 5 or 6 entries last year, and I can't remember who were the winners last year. Was that Helge? Did you win something last year? I can't remember. I think it might have been Ben and Helge or something like that last year that were the winners. So your odds are really good to win, because if only 5 people enter and there's 2 prizes, pretty good odds. So definitely enter. This was one of the entries last year, and so it's kind of fun, and definitely come up with something. It doesn't have to be holiday themed at all. We don't necessarily have to have anything holiday. It could be if you have a clip that you've designed and it's your design, a practical print is still a valid print. If you want to make some sort of little ornament or something, that is fine too. Anything's valid. We want you just to try to make it fall into the 150 by 150 range, because that way we can print it in a reasonable amount of time. And if it's a practical print that people can use with their printers, that's a perfect thing that you can do. So we'll make sure that all the winners are announced, and you do not need to be a Patreon member to enter this contest. Anyone can enter. If you have a Tinkercad account, if you have if you're doing FreeCAD, doesn't matter. Please enter, and we will enter you in and get you your prize. So it would be great to have more people, and hopefully we can grow this, and we'll announce it earlier next year. At least that's the plan, so that we have the contest up in November next year. So it's got a little more time to think about what you're going to design. But we do have the contest live now. Details on, again, 3dmakeit.ca. And feel free to go there and check out the contest. And we're almost out of time, but again, we've had a lot of great chat here. We've got Stig, Dominic, we've got Helge, we've got Ray, we got Gary. We had some spammers, which Ray dealt with. We've had a lot of good chat here, so that's great. If you have any questions for David and I, info@3dmakeit.ca is where to get a hold of us. All our socials are listed on our website, www.3dmakeit.ca. And if you are so inclined, give us a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm gods, and a like. It makes our life a little bit easier and whatnot when we get those, because it gets our views up. And again, thanks to everyone for coming out today. We appreciate you. We love doing this, and hopefully David will be back next week. He's just got a little bit of recovery to do, but he's doing well. So he should be back next week, and we will see you all then. I'm going to call it for today. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.